Shalom. I want to start off by giving all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wachach, Chodesh. And double honors to my teachers, their apostles, and elders, a great millstone. And salutations to you, Akim, that's out there listening. Pushing forward this word with truth and sincerity. And your few Akwath as well, that's listening with sincerity. I'm the brother Machaya from the camp GMS Montreal, coming back with another lesson. And currently, right now, the house of David is being built up. Okay, the house of David being the elect, as is prophesied in Amos 9 and verse 8. No, 9 and verse, or is it verse 8? Hold on. No, verse 11. Okay, it says, "In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old." Hey, we're currently in that prophecy, man, where the house of David is being risen up again, man. Okay, which the house of David is the elect. Okay, because we know in the kingdom of heaven, David will be our king once more. Okay, the Lord did say he's going to raise up our king back unto us. Okay, of course, David is going to be under Yahweh Shai, but regardless, he's going to be risen again. Let's get that. Let's back that up. In Jeremiah 30, we'll start at verse 8. It says, "For it shall come to pass in that day, said the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck and will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him." Okay, so we're in that stage, man, where the Lord is breaking off our yoke, breaking off our bands. We're transitioning into us getting out of captivity and entering into freedom. Okay, where we're gonna get to rule once more. All right, this is the point here, verse 9. And it says, "But they shall serve the Lord their power, and David their king, whom I will raise up unto them." See, so the Lord's gonna raise up King David unto us, man. Okay, because he's going to be our king in the kingdom of heaven. All right. Okay, this is that third temple that's being rebuilt back up, man, because we know our temple was ransacked or was destroyed when the Romans overtook us. Where you had the diaspora in 70 AD. Okay, so now the third temple has to be built back up, man. And how is it being built back up? Spiritually. Okay, each individual man that has this truth that's out there doing the work, they're a brick. Okay, within that spiritual temple. That's part of the house of David being raised back up again, man. Okay, let's get that in Peter. Wait, which Peter is who? King David. If you could receive it, because reincarnation is indeed biblical, right? And even Yahweh Shai said to Peter, what? "Upon this stone, upon you, I will build up my church." You see? And then in First Peter goes into it, how that we're building up a spiritual temple, man. It's very spiritual, man. For those that have ears to hear and eyes to see, hey, it's very spiritual. All right, let's get this. No, First Peter 2, I think. Yeah, that's heavy, bro. I just thought of that right now, man. Yeah, I had to do a salah moment right there, man. That's the spirit. But anyways, let's get this. First Peter 2 and verse... I will start at verse 1, but the point is really at verse 4 on down. We'll start at verse 1. Okay. You know what, man? Since I paraphrase what Yahweh Shai said to Peter, before we get that, we must get this one, what Yahweh Shai said to Peter, man. Okay. Oh, oops. We must get that. Come on. Now, how did Yahweh Shai say upon church? Yeah, there we go. This is Matthew 16. and verse, what's that, verse 15? Okay, he saith unto them, but whom, man, you know what, man, let's start at 13, okay? Just to get a little bit of buildup. This is Matthew 16 and verse 13. It says, when Yahushua came into the coast of Caesarea Philippi, he asked the disciples, saying, whom do men say that I, the Son of Man, am? And they said, some say thou art John the Baptist, some Elias, and others some, it says, and others Jeremiah or one of the prophets. And he saith unto them, but whom say ye that I am? So there was rumors going around of who that, people thought Yahushua was coming as, and the reincarnation, because our people, they understood the concept of reincarnation. It wasn't anything foreign like today. It was common knowledge. Okay, that's why there's another account where there's a particular man that was blind from his youth up. The people asked, well, the disciples asked, who sinned? Was it him or his parents? Because they understood reincarnation was biblical. Okay, just a quick side note. Verse 15, and he saith unto them, but whom say ye that I am? And Simon Peter answered and said, thou art the Hamashiach, the living son of the living power. So Peter was like, nah, you're the son of Yahweh. Okay, you're the one. You're the only begotten. Because what? The Holy Spirit revealed it unto him. Like Yahushua is going to say right here in verse 17. And Yahushua answered and said unto him, blessed art thou, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood hath not revealed it unto thee, but my Father which is in heaven. Yeah. Okay. The Spirit revealed it unto him. The Heavenly Father revealed the fact that Yahushua is the Son, is his Son. Okay. It says, and I say also unto thee that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of heaven, Satan, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. You see? So what? Peter, he said, well, upon Peter, he's going to build his church. Which Peter is who? King David coming back in the reincarnation, man. You know what I'm saying? You see how it ties in? Right? Like we've started the lesson. Right? The Lord's going to raise up the tabernacle of David, which is fallen. Okay? And we know who King David came as in this day and age, King Masha. Okay? That's what our teachers, our elders and apostles taught us, and we believe it. Okay, and he's one of the pillars, you may say, that the Lord dealt with, or one of the men that is one of the pillars of this thing of us that the Lord dealt with to bring out this truth, man. Okay, so let's continue. It says verse 19, and I will give unto thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whosoever thou shalt bind, and whatsoever thou shalt bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. That's the point, man. Okay, the Lord said, upon this rock, upon you, I'll build my church, which, when you go in the letters of Paul, Paul refers to Peter as Cephas, which we're going to Cephas, it means stone. Okay, which is referring to Peter. All right, so let's go and get 1 Peter 2 and verse 1. It says, wherefore, laying aside all malice and all guile and hypocrisy and envyings and all evil speakings, as newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. Yeah, you need the milk in order to grow before you get into the harder things, or the meat of the scriptures. That's just the chronological things, or the chronological order that the Lord set in place. Okay, you need the milk. You can't just jump straight to the meat. Else you're gonna choke on it and fall out and get bugged out. Now you're gonna think I'm Cephas, I'm King David. Get that King David demon on you, or Michael the Archangel. Anyways, it says verse 3: if so be ye have tasted that the Lord is gracious, to whom coming as unto a living stone, disallowed indeed of men, but chosen of Yahweh and precious. That's a fact. Okay, which Yahweh is that cornerstone of that spiritual temple that we're building. Okay, it goes in right after is Peter. Okay, like because he said it, upon you I will build my church. It says verse 5, ye also as lively stones are built up a spiritual house. Hey, we're lively stones as well. Because we have that spirit, the same spirit, the Wachakodash, okay, that have made us be made alive again, that has quickened us. Therefore, I became lively. Okay, and what we're building up a spiritual house, or you may say the house of David, or the third spiritual temple, because it's not physical, it's spiritual. And that's why Esau, Edom cannot, tamper with this building that we're currently doing, because it's a spiritual building. Okay, he cannot do anything to hinder us from building, because it's spiritual, and to him, spiritual things are discerned unto him, like it says, unto the carnal men, the spiritual discerned. Okay, and holy priesthood to offer up spiritual sacrifice acceptable to Yahweh by Yahweh Shai Hamashiach. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Oh, let's continue. It says, wherefore also it is contained in the scriptures, behold, I lay in Zion a chief cornerstone, elect, precious, and he that believeth on him shall not be confounded. Who is that? That's Yahweh Shai, that chief cornerstone, man. Okay? And here it is, we're lively stones, and the Lord is putting us together brick by brick to build up the church. Okay, to build up the temple, which when you go into when the temple was being built, the Lord told the stones that was being laid in the foundation for it not to be tampered with. Okay, to not put any tool upon it. Right? And to just build it. Those particular stones you have to put together to just build it, and not tamper with it. And that's how it is with each individual brother. Right? There's different spirits. Each brother is different. And here it is, we're coming together in the unity of this ministry and building up that temple, man. Just like the physical temple was being built with, with those stones that were not allowed to be tampered with. It's the same way with each individual brother that comes in a different spirit. But regardless, we all agree in one when it comes into the scriptures. Okay? Brother might like this, and when you don't like that, hey, you're still part of the temple. Just like with the stones, one stone was bigger than the other, but it was still part of the temple. You see? Yeah, man. Okay, you know what? Let me see if I can find that. Stone. Let me see if I could find that. Let me see. Bear with me. There we go. This is the one right here. 1 Kings 6 and verse 7 to the point. And the house, when it was in building, was built of stones made ready before it was brought hither, so that there was neither hammer nor axe nor any tool of iron heard in the house while it was in building. Okay, let's do that in LT. I think they already prepared the stone. I might have to. Let me see. Hold on. 1 Kings 6 and verse, what did I read? Yeah. 1 Kings 6 and verse 7 NLT. The stones used in the construction of the temple were finished at the quarry, so there was no sound of hammer, axe, or any other iron tool at the building site. So the stones were already prepared ahead of time before it was brought, to put it together. Okay. And, because, each individual brother, we're still a working process. We still have, dross and, character flaws that, we have to get rid of, because each and every day that goes on, we strive for perfection. So, in that sense, you could view it like that. Okay. Like, hey, that's a correction. Hey, it's the spirit I want to get the precept. Right. I have to correct that. But yeah, man. Because, we're currently working on ourselves. That's part of us, being what's it called? I'm thinking of a precept, because Yahweh Shai said the kingdom of heaven starts within you, right? So us receiving this truth right now, we're in that scrimmage, where we're rehearsing the righteous acts, and doing our best, to striving for perfection until what that marriage come where the temple is actually gonna be come together. Because John saw it. He saw New Jerusalem coming down from heaven when we're delivered and get into those new bodies and come down on earth. Okay? But right now the working process is here. Okay, we're working on ourselves, and then once it's finished, that's when we're gonna be delivered and being built up together when the temple's finally done. But anyways, man, this was my spirit. All right, so I'm gonna close it off there. Giving all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Chodash, Lord.